All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rivalry, our weekly NFC West talk show. I'm Joe Stevens with SeahawkTalk, and this is Ryan to the right of me with No Border Sports. How's it going?
Good. How are you, bro?
I don't know. Let's talk about your 49ers.
Yeah, baby. Sorry, I'm looking up this. Where is it? I'm trying to look up this secondary from this Chiefs player that I'm in, and I'm kind of scared of. Not scared of, but he's an ornery cuss, and he seems to be on his business.
Who, Trent McDuffie?
Yes, McDuffie.
Yeah, he's a Husky.
That that's like. Don't get me wrong. They got some talent out on the outside, but he's tenacious on the inside and out of nowhere. So, I mean, and that's where we like to kind of get open is from the slot area. So if McDuffie's holding his man down, they might not need to do certain things, and that might not get other people open. So that's kind of yep. Snead is a baller. No, I'm not saying anything about those, but I think the real matchup's going to be on the inside there
Hmm.
because I think that's where we make a lot of our money with
Yeah, I
those
think.
between the tight end and the slot.
Well, and their defense this year, Kansas City wise, has been a monster step up from the defense that Mahomes has had before. Because, in previous years, it's just been the Patrick Mahomes show. Obviously, he takes all the spotlight still to this day. He's still an amazing quarterback. I think, like I said last show, he is the NFL's Tom Brady today. In 20 years, they'll have another one. He's a once in a 20-year quarterback. Only a guy like him comes around about once every 20 years, but he doesn't have the weapons around him like he used to. So this defense has had to step up, and boy, it's been impressive. I mean, look what they did to the Ravens. Nobody was really stopping the Ravens all year, and then boom, there it was.
The rate, bro, what was it? It was 3rd and 1. We see Lamar Jackson do like a 7-step drop and run around in the backfield for like 9 seconds till he decides, oh, maybe I should get towards the line of scrimmage after he's like 13 yards deep. So then, right before he gets to the line of scrimmage, like still 3-4 yards deep, he realizes he's not going to make it and tries to just throw it out of bounds. Like they
Yeah.
the Ravens shot themselves in the foot, I believe, by
Oh, a
not
lot.
running the ball. Yeah, so I don't put it all on, hey, the Chiefs because did you watch the Lions 49ers game?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Green Bay 49ers game?
Bits and pieces of that one.
Okay. Now, have you watched the last 2 Kansas City games?
Bits and pieces of both of them.
I went back and watched them, and to me, they don't look as nasty as the Lions looked in the first half against us, and as nasty as the Green Bay Packers in the first half looked against us. Now,
Oh, no.
I'm not counting them out. I'm not saying that they should just lay down and this is over and there's no competition. You still got Patty Mahomes back there. Some of the things that him and Kels can do together, as far as that connection about where they're throwing the ball. So Kels knows exactly, oh, you've got outside leverage. Okay, well, I'm going to turn to the inside and fall down because that's where the ball's going to be waiting for me. Like, those are the things you can't really
Yeah,
game plan against because you can't be everywhere at once. Yeah,
their
but
chemistry
I still
is
don't think
insane.
that I don't think their offense is as nasty as what we've already seen. I don't think
I don't
their
think so.
offense is nasty as the offense that we went 17 points down on in the NFC Championship.
No, I don't think so either. But honestly, you have a great play caller in Andy Reid. He's gonna scheme some
Oh
things
yeah.
up against you guys. I'm expecting it to be a close game. I really am. I hope it's not a blowout. I hope because I kind of
Me too.
I'd like to see the 49ers lose,
I,
but
I'm saying within 4. I said 35, 31.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be different. Obviously it could be different. I just like how to put this. If the 49ers keep the Chiefs in their base defense, which I feel we have the best shot at, I think we can run the ball on them. And we can pass at will. Well, not necessarily drop back pass, but we can play action pass at will if we can run the ball consistently. That's
Oh
what's
yeah.
nasty about this offense. If you can run the ball at will at this offense, you can play action pass at will. So
Well,
that's
not just not
my
just
key to
your
success
offense,
right there.
not just your offense, anybody's offense. You in my philosophy personally, you run to set up the
Well,
pass, and great offenses can run the football. It beyond name one just great
the
offense.
Chiefs,
Go ahead.
the Chiefs right here. The Chiefs, they they don't worry about play action because they're not trying to sell the run at all. They know what they want to do. They want to pass. You know how they stop you from getting in the quarterback? They use screens. Listen to Andy
Mm,
Reid talk about it today. These screens reset and they just run here and there to keep you honest. And when you're passing as much, that run game's nasty out of the middle of nowhere because you were all dropping back in man coverage. You still the bam. Then he's gashing you for a lot of yards. So it's handy. It's more of like they use the run game as like a sneak attack,
yeah, yeah.
like a
No,
little
and
sneak attack.
that put that Pacheco is really no joke. I think he's an awesome running back.
He
I
is.
think talent-wise, the 49ers have it. If I were to look at the rosters on paper, I think coaching,
Yeah.
I'd give it even because as good as an offensive coach, I think Shanahan, I think Reed is too.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be it should be a good game. And let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat here really quick.
Oh yeah.
We'll go with what's
I
up,
got my applauser
Carcast? How
working.
you doing? We
My
have
applauser
Bebop.
wasn't working the other day.
Oh, really? We have Bebop Jones in the house.
What up, Bebop? Boricua.
And then we got the All Around Sports Network. This is another Seahawks fan. He makes kind of videos.
Oh,
He
what
said
up?
he's going with he said he's kind of the exact opposite of me here. He said he's going with the Chiefs just because they got more experience, but he wants the 49ers to win. So it's the exact opposite of me. I think the 49ers are going to win, and boy, I hope they don't. So, but yeah, you were talking about McDuffie earlier.
Pacheco's a beast.
McDuffie, a lot of people wanted the Seahawks to draft him. Obviously, a hometown guy. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome that he's doing a great job over there. Yeah, and they brought up L'Jarius Sneed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Both
he's another good one.
their guys out on the outside are good and talented. I think this is probably their most talented defense in their reign, I guess, in their regime reign / whatever you want to call it. I don't think their defensive line is as good, but I think what they've got in the secondary
Makes up.
tops it as far as talent goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game's going to come down to game plans. Who drew up the better plan last week and who executes it better on Sunday?
The words of wisdom.
Well, I think it's really kind of what's going to come down to this.
Yeah, no. I
Also,
agree.
one thing to watch that I've been noticing lately is Kyle. Early in the season, Kyle would his script would get stuffed, and he would make corrections, and we'd start smacking people going in halftime, and sometimes we'd come out and maybe get a drive in, but then we'd stall out a little bit till the end until we made more corrections. these last two games, it seems like he's just riding with the script in the first half. Like, fuck you. You're going to get these same plays. And you're not going to have anything to go off of at halftime. How can you make adjustments on what you've been essentially stopping all game? You'd be like, hey, guys, we got this. We know exactly what we're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And then we come out and change the physics on you. And next thing you know, you wasted, that 12 minutes, 15 minutes at halftime going, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And that is not what you need to do for the next 2 quarters of this game. So I think look out for that. If we kind of stall and you're like, why aren't we doing this, Kyle? Why aren't we doing this? I think he's playing his cards close to his chest. So you can't get that time to get those corrections. You can't plot your next moves. And if you do, you got to make them up on the fly when there's no time really to stop and think. You know what I mean? Because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be it's gonna be wild. It'll be fun. I don't know how much of the game I'll actually be watching. I'll be at my friend's house, probably playing fucking cornhole. Not really wanting to watch it, but I'll be watching for Usher at the halftime show there. So. Kidding.
Hey, real quick, all around sports. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me make you a logo, homie.
He doesn't have one.
A nice, good logo.
He doesn't have one. I've reached out. He doesn't have a Twitter or Instagram. I've reached out to him, but yeah, if you do make a Twitter, if you do make a Twitter or Instagram, just let us know. So that's the best way to get in touch with actually both of us. So we've only chatted through. I think it's just chats on his shorts. So
drop a email or something. Something I can make you something. Send it off.
Yeah.
Help the homies.
Yeah,
out.
he's a Seahawks fan, but he does more than just Seahawks stuff. He does. He's a young guy. And I think he's from Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he does all like what his name is, all around sports. So he does a bunch of recaps like that.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about the Seahawks news that came out today? What do you think?
I didn't hear any. What? Please enlighten.
We brought a coach in for the offensive coordinator. We didn't hire him, but we brought in a guy for an interview. That man being Chip Kelly, interviewing for the offensive coordinator.
Oh my God. Your coach better not do that shit. This ain't no college game. This ain't no college shit.
Yeah.
This ain't no look.
I'm not a fan.
Well, whatever. I'm a 49ers fan. You guys can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you right now, as a 49ers fan, you should be just as disappointed. Well, not as disappointed, but almost as disappointed as me as I was sitting at Welco. So I worked at a sawmill, right? A cedar sawmill. We're green chain. I'm sitting there. I remember I'm about ready to go to work. It's, I think, probably like 10:30 or something in the morning. I worked like 11 to 1:30 or something like that. 10s or 12s or whatever it was. And my buddy drops the sports section in my lap as I'm eating a McDonald's Caesar salad shaker. They used to put salad in a drink container, and you.
Yeah.
I used to love them. I used to love them. Anyways, he drops that in my lap, and it says Dennis Erickson hired as the 49ers head coach. And I was
You mean the
like,
Seahawks head coach?
no, Dennis Erickson got hired as the 49ers head coach.
He was? He was our Seahawks coach, too.
I know. So
Oh,
he went from Seattle to the Beavers to the 49ers.
I
And I
didn't
was
even
so
know.
pissed. I was like, are you kidding me? He just got fired from the shitty Seahawks. What the fuck? I was so pissed. So pissed. I was so pissed.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even know he coached the 49ers. Drop some knowledge on me there.
Oh, God.
The only thing I'd say about Chip Kelly being the offensive coordinator is he's had head coaching experience, and hopefully he's a better coordinator than he is head coach. I'd rather see Ryan Grubb, just as a Huskies fan. I'd rather see a guy like, what the fuck is that guy's name? Eric Bieniemy. We hired our special teams coordinator, Jim Harbaugh's son. Jay Harbaugh is our special teams coordinator. Yeah, so that was another crazy one. Never thought you'd see a Harbaugh coaching in Seattle, but here he is.
Well, it makes sense. It's special teams. His dad's a special teams guy, or was a special teams guy, if I remember correctly. And I don't see his father giving him his first like position coach job. You know what I mean? Because nepotism. But I could see him, giving him them smaller jobs, and then you got to go somewhere else and earn that title, sir. You know what I mean? You got to do your work here and then go interview to get that title somewhere else, because that's the only way you're going to get credit. So I think, yeah.
Well, he coached with
Go ahead.
Mike McDonald in Michigan when Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator in Michigan under Jim Harbaugh. And here's something hilarious. You guys are gonna laugh at this. So in the past week,
John Harbaugh.
So in the past week, the Huskies and Seahawks have named 3 coordinators. The Huskies offensive coordinator, Brendan Carroll, Pete Carroll's son. The Huskies defensive coordinator, Steve Belichick, Bill Belichick's son. The Seahawks special teams coordinator, Jay Harbaugh. So all in Seattle coaching football this year, there will be Pete Carroll's son, Bill Belichick's son, and Jim Harbaugh's son, all coaching in Seattle this year.
Nepotism. Nepotism league.
I thought that was so. I thought that was so hilarious. So.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, we'll see how. Oh, don't get Chip Kelly. I don't. You know what you guys really need? You need to go back to that aggressive downhill well, not downhill, because you guys are running zone, inside zone weak.
Yep.
The one the play Marshawn Lynch was talking about, we fit into call weak. You know what I'm saying? We fit into call weak. I love that quote. It's because it's a backside zone, and that's some of his best runs were at play, because it's so nasty, because you have to get in front of him when he goes the other way all the time, and then when you cut it back, they're not ready for it. So I think you kind of need to get back to that identity, especially where you guys play. Up here, it's rainy. If you can get back to running the ball well and being physical, teams that come up here and it's raining, it's tough to play a physical team that just can pound the ball down your throat when throwing the ball is difficult.
Well, and defense and run game, those are the 2 things that travel well. Those are the 2 things that travel well to any city you go to. And those are the 2 things. All else fails, right? They play in the weather, right? So if it's pissing down rain, if it's snowing, if it's sunny, if you have a good defense and a good run game, It's the great equalizer in football. And that is what Mike McDonald said. He said, you're going to see a physical football team on the field. That's what we want to see. So I'm assuming that means obviously not only playing defense, but what's a defense's best friend is a run game. An offense that can take time off the clock and not. I get it. I know Mike Leach passed away, but I'm sorry. He was quoted saying the best time of possession is a touchdown. Well, not really. You can look at it. You can look at it that way, but in my opinion, the Seahawks in 2020 we went 12-4. We started off the first half of the season. We're just throwing it down the field, throwing it down the field. It would either basically be a touchdown or a 3-and-out, and the defense would get so exhausted by the end of the game from just being on the field the whole time. So I agree.
It plays in the thing. That's why, like, I'm in big favor of coming out in the first half of games and playing a lot of jumbo package, is because you can get their big heavy guys out on the field, and then you can go hurry up and keep them in there longer than they should be in there. And if you do that a couple of times in the first half, they're going to be real tuckered by the second half. Because not only, let's say they run in normally like a 3-4, right? So you come out in a jumbo. Maybe they want to put an extra defensive lineman out there instead of an end. They're not an end, but a linebacker. So now you got 4 heavies out there. Well, let me go like hurry up where I'm not necessarily hurrying up, but I'm not huddling up. We're getting up to the ball. I'm calling the play on the ball. Everybody's in their stance, and I make you wait that whole time. Them heavy guys in the stance, and then we run the ball, and then we keep the same thing going. We do that all the way down the field. You can't sub anybody. Offense is built for this, right? Defenses aren't. Yeah. I think we can. That's nasty.
Yep, that's my style of football anyways.
Yeah. Let's get another ugly, big ugly guy out there to move another big ugly guy around.
Well,
you know what I mean? Let's do it.
Well, I mean, look at the Lions the first half of that game. They're just running it down your throat and then, dropping back to pass. And they had fucking Penei Sewell out there fucking running routes.
Yeah. I believe we talked about that. They had their best tackle. They had their best tackle as a freaking I believe their starting guard is out, one of their most talented guys. They got a backup there. They got a backup at right tackle because they're fucking splitting their star right tackle out as a receiver because they don't need him fucking in the lineup. That's what I'm saying. Like, that first half, I don't see the Chiefs being that nasty on offense. Not to say that they don't have guys that they can get it done with. It's just, I don't see everybody's talking about this Chiefs team is really good right now. I think they look better than the 49ers. And look, that's okay. That's fine. I just don't see the Chiefs putting up as many points. I see a lot of things that aren't happening. I see them not scoring many points in the second half. I see the 49ers scoring points in the second half. In fact, that's the only time they're scoring points. So if you're going to score points in only half a game, I'd rather be the second half because at least you know how many points you need to win. You know what I mean? If you're scoring all your points in the first half, you don't know if 17's going to do it. You know what I mean? It could if your defense plays well, but it might not. It might look like a 31-30 game. You know what I mean? So who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. What do you see the keys of this game for the 49ers? Do you just see go ahead.
We got to stop their run game. We have to slowly compress the pocket to make sure Patrick Mahomes doesn't get out and makes extra credit plays when we can just force him to have to, make a bad throw it away, Yeah, or do a check down. That's really big on their offense.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce is going to get his. Travis Kelce is going to get his. He's going to get his. We can't block him out. I'm not going to be mad when he gets a freaking thing. We can't spend all our resources just covering the crap out of him. They're gonna get it somewhere else. Rashid Rice is doing a great job. They got another guy who, what's his name? Been Butterhands
Tony.
Butterhands all season long.
Kadarius Tony.
No, the one there's the other one who made the game winning or some like not the game winning, but made a couple big plays last game for them. Anyway, they they can still get stuff done. So thinking you're going to shut out Travis, which you can't do fully, and putting a whole bunch of resources on him is just not going to happen. So we just need to keep everything in front of us, stop Pacheco, and yeah, make sure Patrick Mahomes stays in the pocket. Just got to keep him in the pocket, rush smartly. I've seen the 49ers do this against Jalen Hurts. We didn't do this against Lamar. We did not. Which I was like, we did it against Jalen. Why wouldn't we do it against Lamar?
Mm-hmm.
Like it only makes sense. We should do this against every quarterback who's got wheels. Like I think we have a good enough secondary where we can play that game. Because look, we might give up passes here and there down the field, but that secondary is ball hawks. And they want to catch that ball. So yeah, you might get us going down the field, this and that. We get real stingy in the red zone. You're lucky if you come out with a touchdown or a field goal. I mean, you're lucky. Sometimes, like, look at the Lions. Should have gone for a field goal. Should have gone for a field goal. Why? Why? Because we're not going to give you anything there. We're real stingy once it gets to that red zone. And because we play good sound defense and we're not 100%. We're not 100%. You can get us on certain plays, but you got to be real smart with it because you only got like 4 plays.
Yeah.
On offense, we need to get Christian McCaffrey going. When Christian McCaffrey has over 75 rushing yards, I believe we're 12-1.
Wow.
So Christian McCaffrey, get the ball early. Let's put it down their throats. And we got to make sure we're moving the ball around to all our playmakers. Our guys got to come in. We can't be dropping any balls. Everybody, Ayuk will drop a ball. Debo drops balls. Everybody drops balls except for Juwan Jennings, really. Juwan Jennings gets targeted on 3rd down, and he always comes down with it.
Yeah, that guy's fucking insane. He reminds me a lot of Jermaine Kearse. Just like he'll be absent the whole time.
I love the shit out of that guy.
Well, he just reminds me.
He's not, though. He's not absent. If you go look at the tape and you look at the run plays, you're going to see him. He blocked a guy into the Kool-Aid. I think it was Green Bay. Maybe it was Detroit Lions. He blocked a guy all the way into the Gatorade, bro.
I just mean as far as receptions, and then when they need a big fucking catch on 3rd and long, they'll just find him, and it's like, who the fuck is that guy again?
Out of the middle of nowhere. It's miraculous. The NFC Championship we lost against the Rams. I remember he was coming back, right? And like a hook or something like that. He catches the ball. He's about 2 yards short of the 1st down, right? And this is clutch time. We can't not have a 1st down here. He's got the ball out in front of him. 2 defenders grab a hold of the ball, right? He manhandles both of them 2 yards backwards, essentially, but forwards to get the 1st down. And this is mine, bitch.
That's the type of guy you want to have on your team. Man.
So when he was drafted obviously as a wide receiver. And John Lynch said, look, if wide receiver doesn't work out for you, we'll still take you as a safety. They weren't like really, they're just saying we love the dog in you. We love how you fucking play. So, even if you don't make it as a wide receiver with us, we got a fucking spot for you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, that I think that fits him because I don't watch the 49ers often, obviously, but when I do, it seems like every big play that needs to be made, that guy steps up, and it's like it just like I said, totally reminds me of Jermaine Kearse. Just where the fuck did that guy come from all game? Then they need one big fucking
7th
play, and
round pick.
he's right there. What's that?
He was he was our last pick in the draft, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah,
7th rounder, Juwan Jennings.
yeah. Kearse was undrafted
Because he's slow. Everybody goes, oh, he's slow. He's slow. And I'm like, yeah, but he gets open and he comes down with the ball. So I don't give a damn how fast he is. I don't care. It doesn't mean shit. If you can get open and come down with the ball, who gives a shit how fast you run? Oh, Jesus. Get over that little yellow line. Get over the little yellow line, bro. I don't give a shit how long it takes you. Shit, just get over the little yellow line.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What else are you looking forward to in this game? Are you looking for are you looking for Purdy to have a big game, or is it mainly just capitalizing the run game with McCaffrey, or even the short passing game?
So
Obviously,
I heard somebody bring this up today, and I thought this was actually extremely true. This was very true. They said this is a legacy game for Brock Purdy. Because if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and loses this game, it's not going to affect how people talk about Patrick Mahomes 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. But it will, if Brock Purdy loses, it will be something on his record that people will hold against him. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think if we lose this Super Bowl, I don't think any of the players on this team, no matter the outcome, would point at Brock Purdy and be like, you are the reason we lost. I think everybody in that locker room knows they all bear responsibility in the wins and the losses.
Oh, for sure.
And their play is just as important. Yeah. So I don't think it's fair that the media would then turn around and do that type of thing on Brock. So we'll see what goes on. If he wins, it doesn't matter. If he loses, well, we'll see. They're probably going to come after him. And hopefully he's just on the farm, not giving a shit, just relaxing with his girl.
Yeah.
Andy Reid out there, like Andy Reid, when they bring up the 49ers and what's difference, and they're like, he says, well, they got Christian McCaffrey, and that quarterback that they got is pretty dang good. He's trying to tell everybody in the media, chill out about this dude. Like, I'm sure Andy Reid could figure out ways to use Brock Purdy to make Brock Purdy look just as good as he does in Kyle Shanahan's system. You know what I mean? See, at some point, coaches, a good coach will branch out and learn lots of different things. Other coaches that are new or are so set in their ways, they will only be able to do something a certain way. So somebody like Brock Purdy might not work for them because they're used to doing something different. But good coaches and experienced coaches can go, hey, I got a guy who's really good at all this. Like, and I'm not trying to say that he's not good at certain things. I think the intermediate throw over the layered throw over the linebacker and in front of the safety that Brock makes over our middle crossers, how he consistently hits them on the run, I think he's the best in the league at that, right? And it doesn't matter if that's the only throw he can really do, because we make our money off that throw. So to me, like, yeah, he might not be a Patrick Mahomes that can do all this stuff, but in our system, as long as he can make that throw, and I believe he can make that throw better than Patrick Mahomes can, probably because he's had 2 years of practice doing it, you know,
Yeah,
over and
no,
over again. That's the same throw. It's the same throw.
yeah, well, Purdy's one of those guys that, if not exactly. I'm not trying to put him down, but if the offense is working correctly, he's completely awesome. Mahomes is different in the case that everything's gonna fall apart around him, and then he finds a way to make the throw. So,
Yeah,
but I'm not.
normally,
I'm not
normally.
saying exactly, because we saw Purdy last week against the Lions, or not last week. I guess it'd be 2 weeks ago now. Make some big scramble runs. That you're like, holy, wow, that guy can do that. Fucking impressive. 20 yards down the field. I think it almost was. So
He had 50 yards rushing that game.
yeah, I don't doubt it.
I I didn't think he was a much of a runner last year, but this year, like, he hasn't been running a lot, but he has been very elusive with his feet. And I was like, oh shit, like he could just run the ball. Because if he's elusive in the pocket as well as he is this year, like, he was elusive last year in the pocket pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
But this year he's pretty elusive. And like, I don't want to, like, sometimes he gets hit throwing the ball and he could be elusive, but he sees the chance that's just way too good that he's like, I got to cash this ticket right now. I can't wait to see if it's going to come back later. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, and he's really freaking good with that. He's really good with that, knowing when I can cash this ticket right now, bink, and then he gets just smashed. But I appreciate that young man so much. I really do.
Oh, I would.
He's
I
not
think
perfect by any means, but he's
but he
damn good, and he's what we got.
and he fits. I feel like he
Yeah.
kind of fits. I feel like he fits in. Wearing his baseball hat backwards or whatever. Who the fuck said that he can't be the face of the franchise because he wears his hat backwards? Who was that fucking guy?
Coward.
Colin
Coward.
I hate Colin Coward, dude. I mean, he's one of those guys that if I saw in person, I wouldn't be like, hey, have a good one. I wouldn't give him a head nod. I'd just be like, fuck you. I fucking hate what he does. Anyways,
Look
sorry.
at how he dress. Look at how Brock Purdy dressed when he goes to the game. Okay, he's not putting on the dog for anybody. He dressed very modestly. You know what I mean? He always is dressed. I know people who dress like that on a regular basis. Okay. So to me, like, how are you going to say he's this or that when, hey, Colin, he dresses like people I care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go look, Joe, if you go look at some of his fits when he walks in there, you're like, 90% of the people I know in my town dress like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
gives a fuck? Honestly, who gives a fuck? It's like, Cowherd's one of those guys that he's huge on Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson's one of the fakest person I know. Or I don't know him personally, but he's one of the fakest athletes I've seen, at least come in this town. You're a fan of that guy, but you can't be a fan of a guy that wears his hat backwards. Were you a fan of Big Ben, Coward? Because I'm pretty sure Ben Roethlisberger did that same shit all the time. Only time I root for the 49ers.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. We'll take that, sir.
I was actually...
I definitely root for the Niners, man.
I definitely root for the Niners more than that. Yeah, last time I remember really rooting for the 49ers, honest to God, was when they played the fucking Broncos in Monday Night Football 2 years ago. And
And
that
we
was,
lost.
I was so fucking pissed. I was so pissed. I'm like, how do I fucking root for you guys one time? Actually, I lied. I rooted for you guys too. What's another game I rooted for you guys? The Rams NFC Championship game. I rooted for you guys because I hated how they fucking put that team together with a bunch of nomads.
Oh,
So, yeah.
some contract killers.
Yeah,
Some
exactly. I could.
mercenary hires.
Yeah, mercenaries. That's what I like to use. But yeah. What do you have going on? What do you have going on this weekend for the game? Are you streaming it? Or are you going to a party? Or are you watching it alone? What you doing?
Oh, I'm streaming live. Catch me here. You can come jump in if you want. If you're feeling froggy.
Me? I'll be at a Super Bowl party in Ording.
I know.
I don't know if you know where that is.
Ording. Yeah.
It's
way
right
the fuck out there.
It's about 35 minutes from my house. But yeah, I live way the fuck out there too. So pretty close to Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those
Which
towns.
Is beautiful.
What's that?
It's one of those towns that if Mount Rainier's blows up, the Lahars are gonna kill everybody.
Yeah. So it's one of those towns that you go in that they have volcano evacuation routes. And I promised myself I will never move to a town that has volcano evacuation routes. I won't do it. So,
dude, you remember the Oso mudslide, the Oso landslide?
No. Was that up
you don't remember
by you guys?
Yeah, it was back. Obama was the president because he flew out here because it was fucked up. We got a lot of rain, and all of a sudden, 10 years or so ago.
Oso mudslide?
But Oso mudslide, landslide. It was huge. It took out all these places. My buddy, he had a friend who lived up there, and I guess he let his dog out to go to the restroom, and his dog never came back. So the guy went up to go find his dog, and then the landslide happened, and they both died.
Wow.
So it wiped out a whole bunch of people. It totally changed how you could get to certain areas around me. Some people had to, their 30-minute ride home turned to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Does that town border Canada?
No.
It looks like, wow, that's way up there. I don't know how I never heard of it. 2014. Yeah, 10 years ago. March.
Yeah.
Killed 43 people.
It didn't like it's 43 people, obviously nobody this and that. It wasn't like hundreds, but if you saw the before and afters, it's crazy how much earth was moved.
Did an earthquake happen? Or?
It was just saturated by rain.
Just gave way.
There was a housing development that was made right underneath that hill, and they were told not to do it.
And they did it.
Told there was an issue. They did it. Killed everybody pretty much.
But yeah, no, 43 lives. Like you said, it's only 43 lives, but those are 43 family members to somebody. That's 43 kids, moms, dads. I mean, yeah, that's sad.
Well,
Sorry, I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah. Well, also, and the whole community kind of went out to go try and find everybody. So everybody kind of saw somebody that they knew.
Yeah.
because
Well, it doesn't look like a big
it's
town.
not a big town. It's no.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry. How far away is that from you? Oso.
Right now,
You're
probably
Mount
about like
Vernon, right?
an hour and a yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours, probably about 2 hours, unless there's another route I'm not thinking of.
Unless there's another Oso. Is it south of you or north of you?
It should probably be east.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's just
the only way I
38
know to
minutes.
get there, I'd have to go like, the only way I know how to get there right now would be to go down to Arlington and then go back up on 9,
Yeah, that's what
go
it
out,
says. I'm
I
looking
think.
at the directions right. 5:30,
Yeah.
I guess. You go I-5 to
Yep.
5:30.
Yep, 5:30. Yep, and then my buddy used to live out before the cutoff. It's a while. My buddy used to live like 30 minutes out on 5:30, and we're shooting guns off all the time. Buddy, baby, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
Oh, we used to
no
get some out of
traffic.
date.
It says 38 minutes
So
from
we used to get
Mount.
out of date beers and use those as clay pigeons.
Yeah.
Toss them up. Yeah.
Man. But well, thanks for coming on. Hopefully you'll be celebrating. One of us will be celebrating. That's for sure. One of us probably cares a lot more than the other. I care a lot, but not as much as you do about this game. So we'll see.
Quest for Corey and Laura. Let's
Yeah,
get this win for them.
I think that's about the only reason I'd, not feel that bad if they won. That's about it, to be honest. Other than that, I can't think of another single reason where I'd be like, oh, it's okay. But yeah, do it for Corey.
Hey, I was happy when you guys won your first one. I was happy for you guys when you won your first one after that horrible game. I was happy for you guys 2 weeks later after that horrible NFC championship where one of my most favorite players got his knee just blown out, and then they couldn't even give him his damn fumble interception. I can't even remember. And then they showed it so many times and like took his soul away. I still rooted for you.
Well, we're not like-minded individuals.
I almost put money on you guys.
But
I almost put
all
money
right,
on you
well,
guys.
I guess we'll see each other next Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
All right. See you guys. Thanks everybody for joining in. Have a good night.